How do you detect a regular digital recorder or any eavesdropping device for that matter if it is not transmitting a signal? Hey, welcome to the PI Guy channel. Tips, tricks, and advice for professional private investigators. My name is John Morris. I am a licensed professional private investigator. Bushmaster 5 Romeo asked me this very question not too long ago, and I do get asked this a lot, so I figured we better take a deep dive and see exactly how you can detect those pesky non-transmitting type of bugs. As you may be aware, my company does a lot of TSCM, or Technical Surveillance Countermeasures, or what people often refer to as bug sweeps. I have invested tens of thousands of dollars in professional equipment for my business that helps us go out and identify and eliminate these bugs for our clients. And the one thing I can tell you about all of this equipment is there is no one piece that does it all. That is right. We are dependent on each of these pieces of equipment as well as our super secret bug sweeping techniques, which we will discuss in a bit, to find hidden recorders, hidden cameras, and other nefarious bugs. The most common piece of equipment most people will think of when they think of doing a bug sweep is the RF, or radio frequency detector. But a professional TSCM company does not use just any old RF detector. You can go online and find these cheap RF detectors for a little bit of nothing, like less than 50 bucks. But these are exactly that, an RF detector, not a real piece of TSCM equipment. Do they work? Well, yeah, sort of. They do detect RF signals, but the problem is we're all bombarded with hundreds of radio signals all day long, every day. The cheap devices are very prone to picking up RF reflection and RF signals from far away rather than what is called in the near field. A TSCM professional is going to have something like the Andre, an advanced near-field detection receiver from REI, which is a near-field RF detector. The Andre comes with several antennas and probes, so it is made to identify a whole lot more than those cheap RF detectors. But even with all that, a near-field detector still cannot detect a device that is not transmitting. There are two types of devices we will look at in particular. One is called a drop device. The other is a burst device. A burst device is one that is gathering information, be it audio, video, or whatever. Then it transmits the data on a given schedule, like at 3 o'clock in the morning or once an hour. So if you go over the device with any type of RF detector and it is not currently transmitting, well, the RF detector will not detect it. Now, if you have a spectrum analyzer, it may capture those transmissions when the burst device transmits the data. There are basic spectrum analyzers that require the operator to be watching the analyzer in real time and seeing the transmission when it happens. Then there are spectrum analyzers that can record all the radio signals around it for analysis later. Either way, recording or live analysis, a spectrum analyzer does not locate the bug, rather it identifies a potential threat. A spectrum analyzer is not working in the near field either. It is seeing all the radio signals around it. Now, you can set the sensitivity so it only alerts the stronger signals, but that has limitations in and of itself. If someone walks by with a cell phone or a smart device of any kind, it will see those signals too. So, how do you determine if those signals are a threat? We will discuss that in a moment. The other type of bug, the drop device, is one that does not transmit at all. This would require the individual who is using it to have physical access to get into the area, plant or drop the device somewhere, and then leave. He would then need access to get back in at a later date or time to retrieve the device or a memory card to obtain the data the drop device had collected, be it audio, video, or whatever. There is another piece of equipment called a NonLinear junction detector, which can, in theory, detect just about any piece of equipment, running or not, transmitting or not, broken or functional. But the biggest drawbacks to using a nonlinear junction detector is 1, the cost, and 2, the time to sweep any area. I do have a nonlinear junction detector from REI, and if I had to buy a new one today, well, it would set me back at least 15 grand. The other challenge is the time it takes to use one of these devices. A non-LIN, as we like to call it, sweeps a very small area, like a few inches, and it is used to cover an entire area very slowly. The walls, the ceilings, the floors, the furniture, everything. If a typical house is swept in its entirety, inch by inch, it would take about a week. Thus, the cost to do the sweep for a typical house would be in the tens of thousands of dollars. And it still isn't guaranteed to find every possible bug out there. Yes, it can detect most electronics, working or not, running or not, transmitting or not, But that bug has to have a nonlinear junction inside of it. And not all electronics have a nonlinear junction, and there are ways to mask nonlinear junctions from a nonlinear junction detector too. So how would you find these devices if they are not transmitting, if the RF detector, the spectrum analyzer, or the nonlinear junction detector cannot detect them? Well, that is where we break out our super secret bug sweeping techniques. Every single sweep we do includes a full, comprehensive physical inspection by 2 or more technicians. That inspection includes the use of eyes, hands, and inspection cameras looking in every nook and cranny, around everything and behind everything. That, folks, is the only way to find those non-transmitting drop and burst type of devices. But our super secret technique is not just the inspection process. It is the hours upon hours of technical training and experiences our technicians have gone through. You can look all you want, but if you don't know what you're looking for, it is easy to not see what you are looking for. Now, if you want to know more about bug sweeps and the equipment we use, then check out this video. I also want to quickly send a shout out to my PI Guy Premium channel supporters and say thank you so much to Eric Hutchinson, Nick STL77, and Eric Lewis. And if you would like more information about becoming a PI Guy supporter, check out the link below.